Hi, today I've got the Huda Beauty new Nude Eyeshadow palette to show you. This was launched on November 1st. I've been playing with it for about a week now, and I think that's about enough time to test out an eyeshadow palette. I am wearing a look with this palette right now, which I will demo in a minute or two. But first, let me talk about the packaging and the price and everything, and then we'll do swatches. So this palette, as I said, was launched on November 1st. It costs £56 or $65. It is made in Italy, and it contains 18 eyeshadows. Desert Dusk and Rose Gold. I don't have Rose Gold. The sizing is more or less the same, as you can see. 18 eyeshadows as well. And very different packaging from the usual though. This one is plastic, the external box that is, which I'm not a huge fan of because, hang on, this is going to go into landfill. Plastic, not a fan of that. The Desert Dusk came in a cardboard box, which I prefer. So surely this could have come in cardboard as well, rather than plastic. Now, this is what the palette itself looks like. A number of people have said that, all of Huda's products have a face on them. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's her product, her choice, her face, her life. So I'm not, it takes all sorts of palettes to make a stash. So again, Desert Dusk had her face on it as well. So did the first Rose Gold one. The Rose Gold Remaster did not though. So inside, there's a little insert, a full-sized mirror, and the eyeshadows themselves, all 18 of them. One of them is not an eyeshadow, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, this is what the back of the palette says. Introducing the Huda Beauty new Nude Eyeshadow Palette, Huda's fresh take on the nude look. 18 gorgeous shades, ranging from cool to warm tones, including 10 buttery mattes that blend seamlessly with your skin, 4 multi-reflective shadows with a versatile pearly to iridescent finish, 2 pressed glitters for an opulent touch, 1 pressed pearl for a velvety shine, 1 concealer base to make your shadows pop. From a minimalist I woke up like this look to a show-stopping iridescent lid, this eyeshadow palette is your new must-have to enhance your beauty on any occasion. Now, the reason I wanted this palette, I decided to buy this, was for these 4 shades, the 4 multi-reflective iridescent shades. I'll talk about this in a minute. This is obviously the concealer, the cream concealer. I'm not a fan of including a cream product among all these powders. Ah well, that's what she's done. You've got to live with that. A number of people have said that this reminds them of the Beauty Creations Tease Me palette, which looks like this. I don't have the Tease Me palette. I was going to get both and then do a comparison. And then I decided, after looking through those shadows, after seeing swatches, that I didn't really want that palette because, first of all, it's a lot warmer than this. Secondly, that reminds me of the Rose Gold palette from Huda rather than this one, the colors. They remind me of the Rose Gold palette. It's a lot warmer. There's an olive shade as well, just like in the Rose Gold palette. Not olive, quite, an olivey gold rather. The other reason I was a bit iffy about this palette is that having bought the Huda Beauty Emeralds Obsessions palette, I also have Amethyst. I have reviewed these over here. You can check that out. I did not love the Emerald palette. Not just colors wise. I mean, too many frosty pale shades. But, this one was a huge letdown. It did well on the eyes, but the swatches weren't very good. And, you go in with preconceived notions. If something doesn't swatch well, it's not going to do well either. That's what you think. So, on the other hand, Amethyst did very well. I was very pleased with this. So, I was wondering, Huda's mattes having not very good reputation, would this do well? So I decided to take the risk anyway because of all the mauve shades that I really wanted. I think we'll start swatching. Let's get the concealed one out of the way. I have tried using this as an all-over base, as a primer. It didn't work at all. It looked ashen on my eyelids. So that is not a good color for me. Now, where this one does well is as a base for layering the multi-reflective iridescent shades. So right before layering, I use this and then layer one of those multi-reflective shades, and then it works well, which is what I've done in the look that I'm wearing. I'll show you that. But before that, let's get on with the rest of the swatches. I'll start from here. Bare first. This is your very pale matte. So for some reason the pigment disappeared after the first bit. So let's try building that up. Yep, builds up well. Again, not a good color for me. The next one is lace. It's a lilac, it's a pastel. It's not going to look good on me, believe me. I actually like that color. Let's build that up. Because the pigment disappeared after the first bit. Hey, you know what? I like this color. It's not that pastel. What was I thinking? This color is not that pastel on my skin tone. I'm going to have to incorporate that in a look and see how it goes. So next one is Secret. That's this one over here. Probably not a good one on my skin tone as well, but I'm not going to assume. Learned my lesson after lace. Alright, that's quite patchy as well. But color-wise, there isn't a problem. These are not so dry to the touch, but, you know, the pigment sort of runs out after the first centimeter or so while swatching. That need not, you know, be indicative of performance on the eyelids, obviously. So we'll do all these shimmery and exciting shades later. First, all the mattes, Play, which is a very peachy beige. This would make a decent all-over base for me, and it's swatched much better than the other mattes have been doing. One lot, I mean, no need to dig around, and there was enough pigment, which is a good thing. Right, next one is Tickle. This is probably my favorite shade among all the mattes. And I've been using this on an everyday basis. It's a nice all-over lid color. It's a nice to layer on the crease color. So that came out very well as well, without, you know, too much effort required. The next one is Tease. Again, you can see that it has that more undertone over there. Oh, that's very silky to the touch. These two are nice to pair for an everyday look. That's swatched wonderfully. So you can see that they've all got that, you know, mauve purple undertones to all of these, which is something that I really love. And the next one is called Raw, another color that I really like. So let's see what Raw is like. And that is Raw. Very nice. I really like these three, Tickle, Tease and Raw. I think they swatched fine without any problems. Let's go in with Teddy, which is very neutral. This is your single eyeshadow if you're looking for a monochrome look in the mornings when you're in a hurry. So that one's Teddy. Ideal for a single eyeshadow look. And it's swatched all right. Let's go in with Spanked. Yeah, slightly patchy is it. Let's see if that's because the pigment ran out or something. No, can be built up nicely. Yes, lovely shade there. And the last matte of this lot is called Love Bite. This one. So let's start at the bottom. That's Love Bite. And it's swatched perfectly well. And now there's Kinky, which is a shimmery shade. Let's watch that. So I want to get these two awful pressed glitters out of the way. I'm going to swatch them dry, obviously. They're going to swatch badly, obviously, because you either need glitter glue or a proper, you know, base or a wet brush. And I want to swatch all of these in the same manner. So let's get these two out of the way. This next one is called Excite. Let's do the darker one first. Oh, crap. So, see, it starts out fine here. Nice reflective look there. And then it peters out into nothingness. So let's see if I can build that one up. Yep, these are buildable, but probably will have a lot of fallout unless you go in with the glitter glue, and I can't be asked, honestly. For me, an eyeshadow palette has to work well by itself with a primer tops and not, you know, glitter glue and a million other accessories Next one is Infatuated, another pressed glitter. Desert Dusk had only the one pressed glitter, so I'm not a fan of seeing two here. Ugh, the pressed glitter is giving way. And it's very, very soft. Right, off we go. But it looks fine. I like that reflective, the metallic sort of multi-chrome look there. However, being pressed glitters, they're going to have a lot of fallout. And now we come to the exciting part, those faux multi-reflective shades. Let's see how they go. Let's start with the lightest. Crave. This would be a good inner corner shade if your skin tone isn't too pale. The next one is called Daydream. This is where it's at. This is where the magic happens. So that one is Daydream. The next one is Fantasy, which is this one over here. Oh my god. Finally, there's Charmed, that's this one. The deepest of the lot. Yeah, this is a lovely mix of mattes and metallics, isn't it? Of these, I much prefer this formula because it's unique, it's new, it's something very, very different. Of the lot, my least preference would be for the pressed glitters, not because they look awful, they're very pretty, stunning as a matter of fact. However, there is going to be fallout. The mattes are mixed, I love these. Some of these came out a bit patchy and needed building up, but they did well upon being built up, and they do well on the eyelids as well, so I'm not really complaining. But most of them swatched fine, without any problems at one go. So first I'm going to go in with Play, that's this one, all over the lids. Now I'll go in with Tickle on the crease. Now my foundation and concealer are entirely done. It's the best way of testing out fallout. My lipstick's done as well. I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury's Secret Salma. So I'm going to go in with Spanked next on the crease, obviously, because I want some layering there. And so far there is no fallout here. That could change when we get to the shimmers. That's nice and deep. Tickle was a tad too pale. Now because I want to smoke out the outer edges, I'm going to go in with Love Bite. That's this one. Good, no fallout so far. I wasn't expecting to like any of the mattes because I usually have a problem with Huda's mattes. But these are alright. I'll just blend out the harsh edges very quickly. There's some fallout here, but none on this side. Now I'm going to try using Concealed all over the lids because I'm going to go in with the shade Fantasy after that. So hopefully it won't look way too ashy. That would not be my absolute favorite eye base. But I think it's doable. Is it dreadful much? Do tell me. Right, I'm going to go in with Fantasy next. And I think I'll use my fingertips. Now, one of the things that I'm probably going to struggle with in this palette is the lack of a shimmery, pale shade for the inner corners. This one's matte. So that won't work out when you've got this kind of shimmer all over the lids. Now, I must say that the intensity of Fantasy is absolutely perfect, layered over concealed. I did have misgivings. I mean, I've been playing with this palette for about a week, as I told you. And this wasn't, all right for me as an all-over lid base, all-over base sort of primer, eyeshadow primer. But as a spot base, to layer one of these multi-reflective duochrome shades, that works very, very well. So I'm going to grab another brush and try going in with Grave. It's Crave, not Grave. This isn't a Halloween palette. It's Grave. Sorry. These don't work too badly with a brush either. These multi-reflective shades. I was a little worried that I might have to use my fingertips, and it's very difficult to use your fingertips in the inner corners. But thankfully, it works fairly well with the brush as well. Now to grab a smudge brush and use this on the lower, on the waterline. No fallout there either. There's some fallout here from all the shenanigans that I performed on the eyelids. But apart from that, it's been more or less clean. Can I just say that this is one of the favorite looks that I've done all year. I wasn't expecting to like this palette so much. Right, I'm going to go off camera and finish off my eyeliner and mascara and eyebrows, and then I'll be right back. I'm not going to wear eyelashes. It's bad enough trying to learn to apply falsies off camera. I'm not going to make a fool of myself on camera just to keep you lot amused. So that's a finished look. I'll just move closer to the camera so you can see. So this is another makeup look that I've done with the Huda New Nude palette. This is entirely matte. The other was shimmery. This is a little less glamorous, a little more subdued. And here's how I achieved this look. So I'm going to go in with lace all over the lids and tease on the crease. And if tease is not deep enough, I will be adding spanked and or raw to layer it. So first let's do the crease. So having layered a tease, I don't think I want my crease to be any deeper. I think that should be enough. So because I want lace to pop, I'm going to go in with concealed all over the lids. There's a lot of fallout, look at that. That's lace. Lace by itself isn't very, popping, so I'm going to go in with Tickle. Yep, that's much better. Tickle and tease, nice combination there. And I'm going to diffuse those edges just a little bit. And for the inner corners, I'm going to use Bare. So I'm going to go in with tease on the lower lash line. Minimal fallout here, none whatsoever on this side. Now I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of my eyes. Now, very quickly, let's talk about these 4 multi-reflective shades before I tell you my final thoughts. As you can see, there are 4 of those. And no, that's not mold or some kind of growth or anything. That's some kind of mica or some kind of, pearlescent thing that they've added to those 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not a marbled effect either. It's some kind of mica. And you might think that these are chunky or difficult to blend out or difficult to apply or difficult to pick up, but that's not true at all. They pick up beautifully. Hang on, I'll just show you. Very quickly, let's just watch these 2 alone. Oh my gosh. Very multi-reflective. Gosh, look at that. Foil nail polish was all the rage with all that reflective mirror powder, whatever that thing was called. This is the same thing for the eyelids. I haven't seen anything like this in an eyeshadow before, and that is what makes this palette very, very unique. Absolutely love this palette. There are a few problems. I hate these 2 pressed glitters, absolutely dislike them. I can't work with them. I refuse to buy eyelid glue or eyeshadow glue or glitter glue or whatever that thing is called. I refuse to buy another few million accessories and incorporate them into my makeup routine. I don't want to do all of that. The 4 multi-reflective shades, absolutely brilliant. Marvelous concept. I do wish she would use them in more palettes, and I do hope that there will be a whole palette with just this formula. And I would love to see other colors as well, you know, greens and blues and purples and reds and browns and everything possible, every color possible with this formula, because it is so unique and so wonderful and so amazing and so, I don't know, I'm awed by this formula. I thought, you know, we've seen all the eyeshadow palettes that we can possibly see, same old, but this is so innovative. And that is why, you know, this is one of my absolute favorite palettes of the entire year. This concealer, utterly useless as an eyeshadow base, will do well on the lids or on a particular spot to layer these multi-reflective shades. So that's how I use it. Does not do well beneath the pressed glitter either. I would have loved to, you know, see a deeper shade or two, or more, 1 or 2 more of these, or maybe a shimmery pale shade, you know, something like this, but shimmery, instead of these 2 god-awful pressed glitters. The pressed glitters do look good. Look at that. That's these 2 over here. So they do look good, but you're going to have fallout, or you're going to have to use a glitter glue. That said, the others have very minimal fallout. You saw the eye look that I demoed for you. Not much by way of fallout there, you know, very workable. Just a bit of cleanup required on this one eye, not much here. And, you know, I'm heavy-handed, I'm klutzy, I'm not, you know, the steadiest person around. And it did well, despite all of that. So, I also love how all the mattes have a sort of mauve-y undertone to them. That's very unique, and that's what makes this palette slightly different from all the other nude palettes that you may have in your stash. You know, no brown-based nudes, even if these do look a bit brown, they have a mauve-y undertone to them, as you can see in the swatches over here. So, huge fan of this. Do I recommend this? Yes, why not? You know, if you're a fan of soft neutrals, if you love mauve hues, if you love your mauve undertones, and if you love, you know, soft neutrals with a twist, and, you know, if you are a fan of new products and new innovations, and if you want to try these multi-reflective duochromes, then definitely go in for this. If you have glitter glue, all the better you can make these 2 work for you as well. And I think paler people will do better with this concealer than those who are not so pale, because it looks ashy on olive, tan, warm, yellow-toned people. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Where to buy this palette, I shall link in the description box below. Absolutely love it. So I hope this video was useful to you. I'm not, you know, saying this is the greatest palette of all time. It's probably not. But this formula is the most innovative that we've seen in a very long time. And I really love all the mauve, soft mauve neutrals and all the mauve undertones to those as well. You know, after seeing all this never-ending saga of warm neutral eyeshadows, it's quite refreshing to see more undertones there. So not raving, definitely not against it either. I like it. I really like it. Honest opinion, absolutely gobsmacked by the formula of these. The 4 multi-reflective shades, and that is absolutely gobsmacked by this. I like the mauves. I really like the soft neutrals as well. So apart from that, you know, only the glitters and the concealer are left, and I haven't tried the glitters because I don't have glitter glue, and the concealer I don't like on my skin tone. So that, in a nutshell, is my, you know, sort of verdict about this palette. So that's all from me for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please do give me a thumbs up, and please do hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell, and I'll speak to you soon.